Bienvenidos. Welcome to Spain on a Fork. Really quick before we get started, guys, come join me on Patreon. Become a part of Spain on a Fork. You know, Patreon is an online platform where you can go to support your favorite creators. It's a month-to-month thing, so there's no commitment. You guys can become a patron of Spain on a Fork for $1 a month, up to $10 a month. This helps with ingredients and equipment to continue making videos like this. If you guys enjoy what I do, join me on Patreon. If it wouldn't be for you guys, none of this would be possible. You'll find the link in the description box below. Anyways, today we have a beautiful recipe. We're making a Spanish Sunday rice with beyond sausage and vegetables. This is basically a paella, but it's not a paella. You know, in Spain, everybody eats rice on Sundays, but it's called paella here in Valencia. In the rest of Spain, you go to Madrid, Sevilla, Cantabria, it's called un arroz. That is what we are doing today, and yes, you heard that correctly. We're using Beyond Sausage. Beyond Meats has just arrived in Spain, and everybody's raving about it. It's so good. If you guys don't like it, that's okay. You can substitute it for regular sausage. It cooks exactly the same. Now, to make this recipe, 3 quick things. I'm going to be using a paella pan just because it cooks everything evenly. If you guys don't have one of these, it's okay. You can use a large frying pan. Second thing, make sure that you use round rice. No substitutions, guys. Very similar to medium grain rice. And last but not least, make sure that you use some high quality saffron. At the end of the day, this is what really flavors this dish. As always, I'm using saffron threads from Golden Saffron. Guys, get yourself a tin of this. We use it all the time here on Spain on a Fork. Link in the description box below. We're going to begin by grabbing 3 cloves of garlic and finely mincing them. We'll finely dice half of an onion. Next up, we're going to grab 15 green beans. I like to cut off the ends and then cut each one in half. We're going to grab half of a red bell pepper and finely dice it. And remember, guys, when you are cutting bell peppers, you always want the skin in the bottom. It makes it so much easier. For the last ingredient to prepare, I've got 2 Beyond sausages here. Again, guys, if this is not your jam, that's okay. You can replace it with regular sausages. Again, they cook exactly the same. We're going to cut each one into rounds. They're about ½ an inch apart. All right, we have all our ingredients cut. Let's start cooking our Spanish rice dish. I'm gonna grab a paella pan, heat this with a medium-high heat, and add in a generous 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. One minute after heating our extra virgin olive oil, let's add in our Beyond sausages and start mixing them around with the extra virgin olive oil. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes since we added the sausages into the pan. They are ready to go. Let's go ahead and remove them from the pan and transfer them to a bowl. Now, using the same pan with the same heat, let's add in our diced onions and start mixing them around with the extra virgin olive oil. Making sure to scrape up anything that was left over from the sausages. That's what's going to give this rice dish that incredible flavor. About 30 seconds after adding the onions, again, guys, we are on a medium-high heat. Let's add in our diced red bell pepper and continue to mix. At this point, you do want to mix here continuously. That way, nothing burns. It's been 2 minutes since we added the bell peppers in there. At this point, let's add in our green beans and continue to mix. Again, 2 minutes after adding in the green beans, let's add in our minced garlic. Mix it together. We're only going to go about 30 seconds here. We just want that garlic to be nice and fragrant. We don't want to overcook it. 30 seconds after adding in the garlic and it's nice and fragrant, let's add in a ½ teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika. Mix it all together. Then we'll season it with some sea salt and a little freshly cracked black pepper. Give it a quick mix. Once it's well mixed, let's add in half a cup of canned tomato sauce. Again, we'll lightly season with a little sea salt and continue to mix. As we're mixing this mixture, let's add our sausages back into the pan and continue to mix. 1 minute after adding the canned tomato sauce into the pan, I'm going to add in 2.5 cups of a high quality vegetable broth. I'm going to add in half a cup of frozen lima beans and pinch in half a teaspoon of saffron threads. And we'll give this a gentle mix, that way everything's evenly distributed. Once this comes to a boil, I'm going to let it boil for an extra minute, that way that saffron can really infuse into the broth. Once the saffron has infused into the broth, again, it's been about a minute that it's been boiling, I'm going to add in 1 cup of round rice. Again, guys, very important, this is very similar to medium grain rice. We're going to get in there, give it a quick mix, that way the rice is evenly distributed. And once you have your rice nice and distributed, you don't want to mix this anymore because it disrupts the way that the rice cooks, but you can always give the pan a quick shake once in a while, that way everything's evenly distributed. It's been exactly 8 minutes since we added the rice into the pan. You guys can see there's not a lot of broth left. At this point, let's lower the fire to a low-medium heat, and we're going to let this simmer between 4 to 5 minutes. It's been about 4 minutes since we lowered the fire to a low-medium heat, and as you guys can see, there's virtually no broth left. Now let's achieve that socorat, which is that layer of caramelized rice underneath. Let's reheat this back to a medium heat. And we're going to go between 1 minute to 2 minutes to achieve that perfect socorat. It's been about 90 seconds since I heated this to a medium high heat, and you can already smell that socorat. This dish is ready to go. I'm going to remove this from the heat. And we're going to cover it with some foil paper and a dishcloth. This is a very important step. This finishes cooking up that rice. We're going to leave it here between 4 to 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, let's uncover our paella pan. And look at that, guys. Look how beautiful this turned out. This is ready to be served. Now that is what I call a beautiful Spanish Sunday rice, guys. It smells so amazing in here. Let's get in there and give it a try. Seriously, guys, this looks insanely delicious. Here we go. What a beautiful explosion of flavors. You got that saffron that shines through all the vegetables, that beyond sausage. I know that's not typical here in Spain, but it just arrived here. It is so good. If that's not your jam, you can just use regular sausages here. That rice has the socorat, which gives it texture. Incredible Spanish Sunday rice, done in about 45 minutes. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.